Well, welcome back, Air Gunners. This is Zach from the Shooter Zone, where we are always staying on target. All right, so I got another great item from Prepared to Protect for you today, and this is the Secure 68P, and obviously it is a 68 caliber, less lethal product. Now, I've reviewed many of these over the years, as you've known, and so I always get a lot of questions about these, and there's always these negative comments about this isn't going to stop anybody or anything. Well, again, I always start off with these by saying it's important to use the specific tool you need for that specific scenario. Okay? So that means this may be the proper tool. It could be a handgun is the proper tool. It could be a rifle is the proper tool. It could be a hammer is the proper tool. It could be your fist is the proper tool. But whatever the tool is, you should always have the proper tool available and be experienced in using that tool. Again, I have everything. You know, bows and arrows, crossbows, everything you could think of, knives. It doesn't matter. The more proficient you are at every tool you have available, then the more secure you're going to be. And so this fits the scenario it's designed for perfectly. Now, so what is that scenario? Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people out there that like taking their dogs for walks. And when they take their dogs for walks, sometimes there are other dogs that can be a little bit aggressive. This being less lethal, I would say is a perfect tool for that. If someone's poking their head in through your window in the middle of the night, this would be a great tool for that. Is this going to stop every lunatic out there that's trying to murder you? No, it's not. Is it going to stop some crazy nut job that's just trying to get a little bit too close to you and you're not sure what they're going to do? Probably yes. Okay, so again, in certain scenarios, you want to just use the proper tool. In a lot of states, if you shoot and kill somebody that's 10 feet away from you and they don't have a firearm in their hand and you use a firearm and kill them, chances are you're going to be going to prison for quite a long time. Okay? That's just a fact of it. Is this then going to be a good tool to use? Yeah, I would use it for sure in that situation. Again, I'm not going to pull out my firearm in that situation and shoot and kill somebody. I'm going to pull this out, take a few shots with it, and then see from that point where their aggression is at, right? And so, again, that's why police officers have multiple things on them. They may have tasers and firearms and less lethal forms of firearms as well, like rubber bullets and pepper balls and all those types of things. They understand the importance of using different tools in different scenarios, and so we, as just a common citizen, should understand that as well. So that's what I'll say about that. This is the Prepare to Protect, again, Secure 68P. It came in a kit form, and I'll show you pictures as we're going along here. It did come in kit form, and in that kit came rubber projectiles, powder projectiles, and also, of course, pepper ball projectiles. And it comes with just, I think, about 6 of each, so keep that in mind. When you get this, you're going to consume those 6 rubber balls to practice with quickly. So, order more when you order this. Same thing with CO2 cartridges. If you don't have a bunch on hand, order them when you're ordering this. Okay, so let me just briefly go over this. This is different than some of the other products that I've shown you from them because, again, it's new and redesigned and has a lot more features in it, or better features in it, than some of the previous models. And again, this is a brand new model, but again, it looks like some of the previous models, but it's not really. Okay, so now the CO2 cartridge loads from the front. Also, it has a dropout magazine that holds 6 rounds. Ambidextrous release on both sides. The tool for releasing the cap for the CO2 cartridge is at the end. Loosen it up. Remove the cap. Don't drop it and lose it. Right? Also, aluminum of some sort. Cast aluminum probably. I don't know. I don't think it's machined aluminum. Not billet, but cast aluminum. So good in heavy duty. Once you take off the cap, then you're going to insert, nose first, the CO2 cartridge. Then I like to install this as far as I can by hand first. Make sure you got everything lined up so you're not cross-threading it. And then once you feel that you have some pretty good tension on it, then you could pull your magazine back out, tighten it down. It doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. Alright, once you have that in there, let's load up the magazine. So there is a little button on the side here. You pull the spring down, spring loaded, push it to the side, and it falls into a notch. Then you'll see there's a front side and a back side. From the back side, load in your 6 rounds. Whoop. Then release the spring-loaded button, and it'll hold them in there securely. If it does pop out, like it just did with me, one of the rubber balls, just pick it up and put it back in. Alright, now that we have that filled, insert this. Now, it used to be on previous models that there was the CO2 cartridge went in from the bottom, and you had to hit it to then charge the CO2 and the pistol from that point. You don't have to do that anymore. Now pulling the trigger pierces the CO2 cartridge and at the same time fires the first projectile in full force. Now this is rated at 350 feet per second. That's going to depend on what you put on in here. Again, the rubber balls it comes with are kind of a little bit on the lighter side. And again, I think they're, I don't know, 46 grains or something like that. I'm talking in pellet talk here. And then there's some other ones that I have that I think that are 56.5 grains, so a little bit heavier. So the FPS will be a little bit slower, just like with air guns. And so this will give you a decent amount. I think my calculations on it were 15 FPE. Now that may not sound like a lot, right? But 15 FPE, we know as hunters, if we're using a 177 or 22 caliber air gun, 15 FPE will take game such as squirrels and rabbits around that size. So that's a pretty good wallop, 15 FPE. So again, we're not trying to kill anybody with this, right? We are just trying to deter them from whatever it is they're doing, or deter the dog from whatever it is they're doing, or whatever the situation may be. Okay? So that's what we're trying to do. Now, in saying that, when we pull the trigger for the first time, and there is a little safety on here too, so be aware of that. A lot of the pistols today do have that type of safety system. This does as well. So when you pull it the first time, the trigger pull is going to be kind of on the heavy side. Just be aware of that. This is where practice comes in, and making sure that you're capable of accurately pulling that trigger for the first time. After the first time, it drops literally by 60%, and the trigger will be a lot easier to pull. Very, very, I would say, easily pulled. after the first round is lit off. So keep that in mind. But again, the first time you pull the trigger, it will release the projectile at full power. Some of the others do not do that. So again, really cool design. Everything about this is brand new. Good weight, feels just like a regular pistol. It's going to feel like a large size pistol, like a Colt 45 or something like that. So keep that in mind. This isn't a subcompact size. This is a full size pistol shape. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we have a target set up here at roughly 15 feet. Now, so why did I pick 15 feet? Here's the thing. I think from what I looked up, most discharges of handguns with an intruder or someone coming at you is only like 9 feet, right? 9-10 feet, something like that. So it's not very far away. You're not going to be taking a pistol out and shooting it at somebody at 50 yards. For the most part, you're not, okay? Will there be a situation when you have no other choice if they have a rifle and are shooting at you? Possibly. But when you're dealing with people that are trying to come into your home, or you're just walking around and somebody approaches you, they're not going to be 50 yards away, and you won't use this at somebody at 50 yards away. You're going to be using it at somebody 10, 15, 20 feet away. That would be extremely normal range for something like this. Again, we have to be careful, because if we fire this at somebody and you're in certain states and that person is a certain distance away and that distance exceeds what they feel is a proper distance for them in that state, you could be charged with a crime for this, assault, so to speak, something like that. So we want to make sure that whatever is happening between us and that other person or that animal, that the aggression that's going to be coming at you warrants shooting this. Okay, or anything, a firearm as well, so keep that in mind. We just want to be careful that we're doing things in the proper way and that we're not discharging this when somebody is at a distance in which the legal system's going to say that person was not a threat to you, they were too far away. Keep that in mind. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. 6 rounds in here. We will shoot the 6 rounds at the target 15 yards away. Let me say this because someone said this to me. Again, I've had tens of thousands of reviews on these over the years. And so somebody said to me, what does it prove shooting that at a paper target, right? And his reference was, it's not a test of power, okay? It's a test of accuracy. I am shooting at the target so you could see how accurate it is, not a test for impact power, okay? Not a test for FPE. It is a test for accuracy. Again, I never thought I had to say that, and I did once, so that's a good thing. Again, we're just testing the accuracy on this. We're not testing whether it can go through a piece of paper or not. The target is made out of, I think, 90-pound paper, so it's not your regular printer paper. It's thicker than that, but still, it's not an accurate test for FPE, so just keep that in mind. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I think I have the camera rolling over here. Probably not. Let me turn on the camera for that target, and then I'll be right back, and we will fire these rounds off. All right, so I'm back. So we're going to shoot off these 6 rounds. Again, the first one is going to be a little bit hard on the trigger. And again, I don't know exactly the weight of it. I didn't measure it. It's heavy. Okay, just understand that. That's why practice is always important, so you can be assured that you understand how much force it's going to take to pull the trigger the first time. And then after that, again, the trigger is pretty easy. So keep that in mind. All right, let's shoot off the 6 rounds, and then we will go from here. All right. So you saw that the first round that I shot off, high right. Again, trigger's really heavy on the first shot. After that, it was fairly normal. So we got all 5 shots after that right on the chest. When you're using the pepper rounds, again, you want a good high chest shot, because when that projectile explodes and pushes that pepper round powder out, that it'll get onto their skin and their face and in their eyes and all that. All right, so again, first shot, it was high right. Just missed the head on the right-hand side. That may happen. Again, this is the second time I've shot this, so keep that in mind. All right, so what I want to do is this. Now, we just put 6 rounds through it. Let's put a few more through it, because I think you can easily get 12 shots out of this. So we'll put another 6 rounds in here. Again, these are not the rubber balls. These are aftermarket nylon balls, 68 caliber, and they're roughly 10 grains or 10 grains heavier than the rubber ones that come with this. Keep that in mind. So again, we're going to shoot off 6 more rounds, and let's see how that goes. All right, 6 more rounds. Those all 6 rounds hit the target on that. One was a little bit high, caught him in the neck. On reloading these, it still stays in the easy trigger mode after that. It's only the first shot where it's heavy. Again, once you reload, put the mag back in, you're still dealing with the light trigger at that point, so keep that in mind as well. All right, what else do I want to say about this? Picatinny rail on the bottom. You could put your flashlight or laser on here, whatever you want to use. It's great to have flashlights on these, because in the middle of the night, sometimes the last thing you want to do is, if you hear something, is flip on all the lights. So that may be a good thing in certain situations. You know, if the lights are off, then they're not expecting you. If you flip the lights on, then they know you're coming, and they can prepare for that. If you don't flip the lights on and they don't hear you coming, once you get to a situation in which you can hear they're kind of in front of you somewhere, 10, 15 feet away, you can then flip the flashlight on and do what you need to do at that point. Good fiber optic sights on this right from the get-go. That's a big plus. Again, nice and bright. Catch the light really well. All good. All right, could you get more shots out of this? Maybe. I think by this point, you're depleting the CO2 enough where I would say it's probably good to discharge all the CO2 and put in a new cartridge. And how you discharge that is you just keep pulling the trigger, and you could hear the power going down. I mean, you could hear it's still got some good power behind it on the first probably 6 more pulls. Okay, hardly anything coming out of it now. You don't want to put your hand on there, obviously, when the CO2 is full and pull the trigger. But you can hear it's going down. It's completely out now. All right, that's it. Then just remove the cartridge, put a new one in there, fill up your magazine with 6 shots, keep it by your bed, keep it on you when you're walking your dog, whatever you want to do. This is a large frame size, so keep that in mind. I have one holster that is made for kind of large frame pistols, and this is a little bit too large for that even. So you're going to have to find probably something that's extra large size in order to fit it. This whole part fits in it very well, but once it gets to the trigger guard will not push down into there. So again, keep that in mind. You may have to find the right type of holster to put this in. All right, well, that's the first test on this, and we'll do another one. Again, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I think it's going to be kind of crappy the next few days. But we'll get out here again and we'll shoot a little bit more with it as we go on. All right, until next time, shoot lots, be safe, and we will see you again soon. I put a link down below for them. You can click on that and go right to the website if you're interested in this or any of the other products that are there. Okay, we'll catch you next time. Take care now.